I really want to like this action figure brand, but despite how good their figures might look, I just keep having problems with them. Let's open it up, check it out, and of course do some toy photography. Well, Superman is out. That day has finally come, and the movie was filled with joy and wonder, and it's so much different than any other Superman we've gotten in a movie before. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a little bit to get used to that, but in the end, I absolutely loved it, and there were two things going through my head when the movie was over. One, I can't wait to see this movie again. Two, when is the next DC movie coming out? I can't wait for the rest of this world to be filled out with everything. And there's action figures. If you've been keeping up with my action figure podcast, Dorkcast, I've been talking about all the Superman figures coming out, and the only really figures out are this one right here, which is the McFarlane one. I did a whole video on this guy right here. Really great looking figure. And now we've got Fondjoy, the next figure out from Superman with this new David Cornsweet, James Gunn Superman. And I gotta say, the last Fondjoy figures I opened up, I was very unhappy with. There were problems. Overall, they looked good, really good actually, but the feet were falling off and the hands broke on me in the middle of the video. So I have a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth from Fondjoy, but I wanted to try this one out because, hey, it's Superman. It's the only other Superman figure we've got right now. And one thing that they always do fantastically is their packaging. Like, look how great this box is. The artwork on here is fantastic. There's texture, there's magnets that open up, there's the figure. We've got two cryptos right there. I might just be more curious than I am excited, but either way, we're opening up a new Superman figure right now, so what else could we possibly be complaining about? You know, it's a new Superman figure, a new Superman movie, a whole new age of Superman. Another weird thing about these figures that are kind of keeping me from collecting them is the fact that they're 1/9 scale. It's a little bit weird. I'm sure there's some type of licensing exclusivity and some reason for that, why they have to do 1/9 instead of 1/12 or something. So I don't know. Maybe these cryptos will be good either way, but could be something cool to have. Maybe I'll just be blown away by it. But yeah, 1/9 scale. Very, very interesting. But if you want to pick this figure up, it's in stock. I have the link in the description from where I got it from. This is the first time I ordered from Bombasby, but so far so good. It came very quickly and very well packaged, so I was very happy about that. So if you're curious and you want to get this figure right now, I'll put the link in the description so you can pick it up. And if this figure is awesome, then you better get it quick because it'll probably be sold out. Because it's Superman, maybe, right? I don't know. Let's open this figure up. So the next DCU thing coming out is Peacemaker Season 2, right? I think. I absolutely love the first season of Peacemaker. I did a whole video on it when it came out. Really, really loved it. And then what are we getting next? Is it Lanterns and then Supergirl? Man, I cannot wait till Lanterns. I can't wait for Green Lantern to be a popular thing again. Or at some point, ever? Has Green Lantern ever been popular in the mainstream? I don't know, but I can't wait for all of it. So excited. Well, here he is, and you know what? He looks really good. I think, looks better than the photos of him on the internet. Even the face when I look at it, it's not perfect, but as I look at it, it really looks like him. It's like slightly off, but I think it's pretty good. I don't know, they gave him a much more broad chin, which I think looks better. He looks very, very broad chinned like Superman. And maybe it's his eyes. I think maybe his eyes are too small or something, or maybe they're painted too high on the sculpt or something. I don't know, that's like the only thing. Other than that, the face looks really good. I'm digging the face. And I haven't really moved him around too much, so I'm sure articulation's just fine. You know, I don't think these guys are really crazy articulation, but overall the sculpt looks pretty good. The detail on the suit looks really nice. Proportions are actually really good too. I think the proportions are better looking than the McFarlane, and it matches him too. You know, the suit was pretty thick, and you know, he's not like a mega jacked version of Superman. It's, you know, so I think it works. I think it all works pretty well. The cape is very nice. It is wired. It's very long. It looks like the cape can just barely withstand itself. Like it can do that, but it can't really do much more than that. It's like the wire's not almost not strong enough for how big the cape is. Is the cape too big? The cape just seems really big. He looks pretty good. I'm actually feeling pretty good with this thing. And the figure was 46 bucks. So, you know, after shipping and all that, you know, you're definitely paying over 50 bucks, which isn't totally unheard of for action figures anymore, but it is definitely a little bit higher than your typical McFarlane, even pretty considerably higher. And so far it does look good, but I'm not sure if I would choose this over the McFarlane yet. Not yet, we'll see. Okay, well, he does come with a couple accessories, a few accessories. One of them being Crypto. Actually, two of them being Crypto. There's a standing, more static Crypto. And I thought at first maybe his mouth was articulated because you can see a little bit of a seam there, but no, it's not, which is fine. And he has a very static cape as well, unlike the Crypto that comes with the McFarlane one. And I kind of like the static cape, not gonna lie. I think that looks kind of good, the way it's draped over him. And he does come with a flying Crypto also, which I think is really cool. I think this would be really great for some photos. And he comes with a little stand. He almost looks like a little carousel horse that you could ride on, the way he's posed like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, 50-ish bucks, so you get two different Cryptos. So at least you have that. Come on. I know this is possible. I will not stop filming until this happens. Yes! He does come with some extra hands, so he's got fists on right now, then he comes with two very straight kind of flying hands, and then just some relaxed hands, so that's pretty cool. I think those are the exact kind of hands I would want. The only other hands I think are great to have sometimes are like pointer or peace signs, but that doesn't necessarily fit with Superman. I think these are great. And then there's the stand, and so the base looks awesome. It's like this clear translucent blue with a Superman symbol, and you've got this that clips in, and which way does it go? Like this? So there's like ratchet joints, and then the grabber thing is spring loaded, which is very different. Still, Fondjoy is the only one I've seen like that. And let's see how well it works. So I haven't done articulation yet, but that's a very basic flying pose. All right, Soups. Hey, hello. That's how it's done right there. Hang on. What the hell? Am I gonna break this thing? All right. Now can I put it in? Well, it is just high enough to get him off the ground, which, I don't know, is a little bit lame. But, you know, if you're doing more flight poses where he's zooming forward, you know, leaning over, that will work. This actually looks kind of nice, not gonna lie. Like having this on the shelf like this, he's not very high, but it looks good. For other poses, it works too. I can tell the strength to hold him up by the stand is definitely there, so we'll take it. And the last thing he comes with is this little Daily Planet badge, right? It's like life size, so you could put this on a little lanyard and wear it around your neck when you're cosplaying Clark Kent. I guess that's kind of cool. It's pretty flimsy, but this is cool. I mean, I don't know what I'll do with this. I'll probably keep it in the box, but it's still cool. It's a very different thing. You know, you don't usually get stuff like this. I think that's awesome, actually. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty neat. So as far as articulation goes, it's actually a little better than I thought. You know, he's got you know what, okay. This popped out, which pops back in, but this was the second time it happened. Hopefully this isn't a reoccurring issue. Okay, there we go. But you've got, okay, a pretty decent amount of elbow articulation, right? You've got more than a 90-degree angle. You can get way more than a T-pose. That's great. The amount of crunch is pretty impressive. Like, look at that. That's kind of impressive. And he does have a very softer plastic underoos. His diaper, or whatever you want to call it, is pretty good. And, you know, it does allow for not a crazy amount of thigh, but, you know, you got double jointed knees. It looks pretty good. One thing that I'm wishing was a little bit more was the neck. You know, with Superman and flying characters, they really should like focus, I think, on like getting him to look straight up more. Like, that's about as far as you want to, as you can get him to look up. But, you know, if you bend up the chest a little bit and the neck up, you can still get some flying looking poses, you know, which look okay, which still look pretty good. And the one thing, honestly, that's kind of killing me is the cape. The cape is so big, it just can't support itself. And for some reason, the wire on this side is all the way in the shoulder, which is good, but this side is not. It's like not through far enough. So the right side of his cape doesn't really support itself because it's not all the way in there. and it really becomes quite in the way. Like, I was trying to do some flying poses before, like I had one in there, and it was okay, but it just, the cape looked weird. Like, I'm definitely liking the cape on the McFarlane much more than this, actually. The quality of the fabric is nice, but it's just becoming very impractical. As far as other poses go, I think you can get them in some kind of decent punching poses, and the flying poses I think will be pretty good, but the cape is gonna look a little awkward. And so far, no problems with changing the hands like I did on the Ben Affleck one, too. Man, but every time I move his arm like this pops out. And you know, in between all of these poses, it's popped out. This is probably the 4th or something time that's happened. It's a little frustrating. I still wanna give this thing a good score, but this keep popping out is a little frustrating. Okay, well, how tall is this guy? He's 1/9 scale. So what does that mean? He's around 8 inches? It's like slightly shorter than 8 inches. Yeah, he's a big guy. Well, let's compare it to the only other Superman out there. If you were going to pick which Superman to buy right now, which one would you buy? Would you buy the McFarlane or the Fondjoy? I don't know. Okay, well, first let's just compare the size and stuff. I'm getting a little out of it. The Fondjoy is a little bit bigger, definitely. I think if you use either in the same kind of world with cryptos or whatever, they would scale. I think that's pretty much the same with any Fondjoy / McFarlane combo mix-up. If you want to mix them up, I think you'll be just fine. Just will be a little off, potentially. But which would I say is the better figure? Well, which one would I rather buy if it was between these two? I would rather buy the McFarlane. I think the Fondjoy is cool. I think it's actually undeniably better looking. You know, the textures on the suit look awesome. The face doesn't look as much like him, but the detail is more quality than the detail on this face. Comes with 2 cryptos, you know, it's undeniably just better looking. Just look at the difference between the chest. Like, that's huge. There's no difference there. But as far as functionality goes, I just had so much more fun with the McFarlane posing it. The cape actually works really well. This cape is, maybe, I don't know if it is too big or not, but you know, the wire is just not, it doesn't go all the way in there. So it's just kind of frustrating. I guess I could put it in there, but it does fall out. And this just pops out so often. This arm just keeps popping out. No matter what I do to get it to stay in, it just pops out. And that sucks. That sucks a lot. So it just seems like Fondjoy has so much potential, but they just keep having little issues here and there that just don't do it for me. Venom, what do you think? You've been gone the entire day. What's your problem with these? Do you have one at all? So I like the McFarlane better. I like the cape more, it functions better, I'm able to get better poses with it, but the Fondjoy does look better, so I am gonna say that at least, so there's that. So some other similar comparisons to make. This is a Beast Kingdom figure. It's the only one I have. I feel like I've brought it into a lot of different videos lately. Excuse me, Venom. You know, these are kind of the same scale. It seems like the Beast Kingdom ones are a little bit bigger, and that's cool, I guess. And then this is a Fondjoy Robert Pattinson Batman, which I had a bunch of problems with before, but overall it looked really good. That seems to be a reoccurring theme, Venom. So there's these comparisons right here. If you're loving this and building a good collection, I hope you're loving it. So here's a crypto comparison. Oh, Venom. Wow, you haven't knocked anything over. Okay. This is the comparison of cryptos. This is the McFarlane one, and these are the 2 Fondjoy ones. As far as detail goes, I think they're all pretty even. I don't think the Fondjoy is any better as far as detail goes than the McFarlane. I really don't. But I think I do just like the regular static cape on these more than the McFarlane. I think they're both pretty good. That's just a matter of preference, I think, really. So yeah, I think they're all pretty good. The fact that it comes with 2 cryptos is pretty sweet though. Why doesn't Superman have a cat, right? That's what I'm saying too. Well, Venom, what's the verdict here? Are we giving it a W or an L for the Fondjoy Superman and cryptos? I really tried hard to really love it. I really did, and I don't hate it by any means. I don't. I think it's objectively a better looking figure. It's beautiful, actually, to be honest. It looks very nice, but you know, I just got a little frustrated. I think Fondjoy would be so good if they tweaked the little issues that happen here and there, stuff popping out, stuff like that, you know, and I think it wouldn't be a problem. If they did and fixed all that, I would have such great things to say about it, but because of those things, and for those reasons, I'm out. No, for those reasons, I'm giving it an M. Yeah, I think it's an M. It's by no means an L. It's not. I gave the other Fondjoys an L. Venom, come on, stay. No, please, right there. Okay, right there is great. That's a good spot. We'll just scooch over. Oh, hey, a little bit. And there we go. It's almost a W, but it's by no means an L. It really is a beautiful figure. Just got some problems. So I don't want to give it an L. I'm going to give it an M. I think I've had my last straw with Fondjoy. I don't really think I'll buy a Fondjoy ever again. That's just my experience. I'm giving it an M. So let me know what you think. Are you on the same page as me? Do you think it's great? Do you think it's an L? Do you hate it? Either way, I'd love to know what you're thinking. W or L or M for mid. Well, I definitely still need to do some toy photography with him. I think there's still a lot of potential with that. And I do like the cryptos, and I didn't really incorporate crypto into the toy photo last time I did with the new Superman, so I think I'm gonna do that this time. Not sure what, but let's go set something up and take the shot. Okie dokie, here we are. We've got Superman and Crypto, and they're enjoying some Scooby snacks. Ruh-roh-ree. I don't know where these ideas really come from. Something popped in my head, so I ran to Walmart, and I wasn't sure if these existed anymore or at all. But yeah, they do exist. These are just like Teddy Grahams, little graham cracker, cinnamon cookies, and they're pretty good. I had one anyway. So Superman is gonna be throwing a Scooby snack up to Crypto, and Crypto is jumping to catch it. And that's it. That's all. So the way I've got Crypto up here, he's got that little hole in his belly from his other stand, but I used just one of these little skewers that I usually use for these, and it fit in his little hole perfectly. So I'm also using another one of these skewers right here for the Scooby snack that I'm going to be holding up like this. So it's gonna look like it's being thrown up by Superman, and Crypto is about to catch it. And it's all kind of framed quite nicely. So if we look over here in camera, this is how it's looking. And I took a test shot, and it looks like this. It's looking pretty good. And I've got everybody on the focus line, so everybody's perfectly in focus. So let's say if there's a wall right here, shink, on the lens, and it goes perfectly straight all the way here, that wall right there is the focus line. So since everybody's on that focus line, and as long as the Scooby snack is also on the focus line, everything will be perfectly in focus. And the higher your f-stop is, the wider that focus line will become. So right now my focus line's pretty thin because I've got like what, f1.8 or something for my aperture? 2.5. So if I turn it all the way up to like 5.6 or something, the focus line would be bigger. And the focus line is determined on where you put the little focus thingy. And right now the focus thingy is right on Superman. Oh, Venom's watching a bird. The focus thingy is right there on Superman. See the green? So I've determined right there where the line's gonna be, by right on his face, just like that. Of course, I've got lighting all the way around. I usually have like a little archway of lighting around the characters to give them that nice rim lighting. So all their rims are lit and gonna pop against this really dark background that is my fridge. So my shutter speed's at 640. There's no need for fast shutter speed, only because there's no moving elements going on, so I don't need a fast shutter speed. Aperture's at 2.5, because it gives me a nice blurry background, and my ISO is at 400, as always. I am gonna take two photos, though. I'm gonna take one just like this, and then I'm gonna take both Superman and Crypto away, so I can take another photo to remove their stands. I don't always do this to remove the stands, but this time I'm going to, so I can put some Scooby snacks underneath them, so it can feel a little bit more realistic, that there's not just Scooby snacks around where the stands were, you know what I mean? Also, this is a Mezco Superman stand. I always get questions on the stands. I just use the ones from the Mezco figures. Okay, let's just go take the photo. It's just gonna be a quick couple photos, and that's it. So let's go. Alrighty then, quick post-photo breakdown for Superman and Krypto eating some Scooby snacks. Alright, well here we go. This is the final product. And it looks good. It looks exactly kind of what I was hoping it would look like. And I feel like I've got enough practice with shooting on my counter, so I know what I need to do. You know, there's plenty of great lighting, which is great, and all of the stands, you know, are seamlessly removed. There's even rim lighting around the Scooby snack. Like, look at that beautiful, ooh, there's a little line there. Might need to remove that. But yeah, you know, the rim lighting, beautiful. So this is the before, after. So the main differences, I'm sure you can tell, are the stands are gone. So I used this photo right here to remove the stands. So I basically so this is what the circles I drew. I basically just drew circles around where I needed the stands to be removed. So I just took that, copied it, and pasted it. And so if I lower the opacity a little bit, then I can see exactly what I need. Just draw a little box around Superman, delete. In theory, that's how I do it, you know, and then I touch it up. You know, I might go in and redo a couple things. I'm noticing, I don't have a shadow under Superman. I should do that. There's a couple things. So on the Instagram version, it might look a little different. But anyway, give me some critiques. As always, I want to know what you think. Do I do too many shots on my counter like this? I always want to know exactly what you're thinking. So yeah, let's just run the end of the video. So yeah, I think I'm just totally done buying from Fondjoy. They have so much potential, but all the issues and even the fact it's just 1/9 scale, nothing is really calling my name anymore, even though they do look pretty good. But I'd love to know what you think, and if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This photo, of course, is going to be posted up onto Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. If you want to follow my work on any of those platforms, it's all linked in the video description below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.